This is Katherine and Alexis Shoulders. We're here to talk to you about our idea that we've come up with. So according to Jay Bauer, who is a well-known keynote speaker and researcher, about 55% of Americans have a social media profile, and about 56% of Americans ages from 45 to 54 years of age have a social media profile. So to narrow focus here, about 42% of travelers use technology and smartphones when they look and trying to find a place to go when they travel. And so travelers are more connected than ever, and that's kind of where our app comes into play. About 45% of people, when they look on their phone, are looking for activities. 72% are looking for restaurants, and 36% are looking for accommodation, and they're all using that through their applications and phones. So that's essentially where our product comes into play, which is Travai. Travai is a application that is all about experiences for us and the consumer. We want to relate our app with experiences in the community. So the problem payment that we have come up with was addressed in many different issues, or different ways. So Carol and Karen from the Economic Coalition addressed the issues of increased population and a location to find all of these in one area. And then Debbie Dewey, the former president of Gage, addressed the issue of lack of entertainment and sports and events within the city. So our overall problem pain is the lack of having all-in-one, real-time knowledge of what is going on within the city. So to address that, our product idea is an app that aggregates everything going on around Evansville or cities in congruent size in one convenient, user-friendly app in real-time data. So essentially we have here options that we would like to implement within our application, which are hotels, restaurants, gyms, parks, events, and sports. That's not to say that we can't add any other options, but we think these are the ones that are the most viable to the application that we have. So taking a look at the app interface we have here on the left, you can see all the different options that we could essentially put in there. So taking this one right here, say we enter in a restaurant and you're looking for say Mexican. You have all these options, so Mexican, Italian, Chinese, and you click Mexican. So you click that, and you're going to see all the options of Mexican restaurants within your area. And then here, you're going to see prices, and then those prices indicate the price, the average price per plate at that place. So essentially, you're seeing everything within your area in one location. Now on this side, this is more geared towards consumers. So speaking from experience, you go to a location, you remember like where you were in that time, but you don't necessarily remember like the restaurant you went to, or the movie theater, or whatever. So here is where you can track your history of where you've been, and say that you went to Biaggi's or something in Italy, and you really liked that restaurant. You can like it, and then it's going to save in your history, and you can bring it up for future references to recommend it to someone else. So, like I said, it's mainly used for the consumer purposes on that end. But to talk about product differentiation, it's Katherine.
Okay, so for our product differentiation, our main competition focus is going to be Foursquare. Foursquare is more about reviews. It still provides the restaurants, the hotels, that kind of thing. We took out the review side of things, and that's when what Jacklen said about adding the price list and like how much money someone's willing to spend. We're also adding in the history and the option to check in or pin your location so you know exactly where you have went or where you want to go in the future. Also, for the business-friendly versus the leisure-friendly, we talked to Mike Beavers of the Rotary Club, and he brought up that he wants to know why people are coming for business versus why they're coming for leisure. So we made two options of our app to pick which ones you want to go, whether it's hotels, spas, restaurants, or gyms, or if you're just coming for community events like a soccer tournament or something like that. For our opportunity size, Travai is offering more than any other app currently on the market. So we've decided for the data, for those who are using the data in like the business side of it, those who are like city officials or the restaurants, they can use this data to do things like better their current business or add things that maybe they don't have that customers have really asked for them to have. That could be like with the Ford Center, if they're doing a bunch of country concerts with someone who likes hard rock or something, they can go into our app and send a suggestion and say, hey, put some more hard rock out there for us. And then for the consumers using the apps, there are many things they can like mark and pin about where they're going throughout the city. For our value proposition, it is all for city executives wanting to know when and where people in this area are traveling, where they're spending their time in the city, and then Travai is going to be a concrete representation of the data that expresses useful information to track who is coming and who is going when it comes to Evansville or any mid-sized city like Evansville. Alexa's going to talk to you guys a little bit about the business model.
Okay, so this is the pathway we took to come up with our business model, and we color-coded and kind of broke it into internal and external. So for the key resources, we have Travai, community calendars, and then the app platform. We'll probably derive a lot of our information from the community calendars and other resources like that around the city. The key activities are going to be the platform development and aggregating all of the data to put into the app so that we can get everything into one app for everybody to be, it's just right there for them. The key metrics is going to be like the number of downloads, the number of pins, number of check-ins, the number of specific places provided, and then demographics with like race, age, gender, income, things like that, which we will derive from a feedback opportunity that's just like a random, like little, you know how you can rate things in apps, it'll just pop up, it's like a one-time thing. So we thought we'd throw that in there to kind of get some extra data from people. And that goes along with the customer relationships, with the pinning locations, price checks on everything, that it shows you the price of what, you know, this hotel is this much, this restaurant is usually this much, so they can compare pricing. The customer channels is going to be word of mouth and advertising, like commercials during Pandora, like, you know, they have those commercials throughout when you're listening to music, stuff like that. And our customer segments is executives, which are the influencers, the businesses, and then the consumers, which is our target market. And in closing, Travai is one app that's going to aggregate all data about places to stay, things to do, or events taking place in Evansville or other cities like Evansville. The data derived from this app would be offered to business owners and city executives from the different interfaces they can choose for the data that benefits them. And the end users of the app are getting the information to experience Evansville or other cities to their full potential, regardless of if they've been there or not before. Any questions?
Interesting.